Hello everyone, this is Joel over at Just Document Preparation, and today I want to talk about living trust amendments. So since 1996, we've been helping prepare living trusts, and a major portion above the living trust is we prepare a lot of living trust amendments. So living trust amendments are documents that are completed and are supplementing the original living trust. This is going to be when major changes need to be made or the trust needs to be updated. So the trusts that we complete, they are revocable, which means you can amend them, you can update them, you can revoke them altogether. So it's important to make sure that if you're thinking about a living trust amendment, you need to know that my trust is amendable. I am able to do so. It's pretty common, but there are also trusts that are irrevocable and you cannot amend them. Common living trust amendments would be the successor trustees. You're probably the current trustee, but you've designated someone to step in the event that you are unable to, or it's time to process the living trust. That would be your successor. Sometimes your successor may have been family, may have moved, or maybe it was a child who is now old enough to take on that responsibility. So that's one common one, updating your successor trustees. Another big common one is updating the distribution. Maybe initially you had 2 children and each of them were getting 50%. 10 years later, now you have 4 children and you want each of them to get 25%. So you can do an amendment to update the distribution of those assets. What living trust amendments are not, a lot of times we get calls from people who are thinking they need to make an amendment to their living trust. Maybe they acquired property, maybe they have sold property, is a common one we get. A lot of times in those processes, escrow and through the process of purchasing or selling the home, they will either remove the property or the title out of the trust, or they will put your new property into the trust. So a lot of times in those situations, a living trust amendment is not needed to reflect those life changes. If you're thinking about a living trust amendment, or if you haven't thought about it, it might be a good time to look at your trust and make sure everybody that you've designated to be in charge, everybody that you have designated to receive assets is still reflective of your current situation. So living trust amendments we can typically complete in about a business week or so, flat fee pricing. We notarize it, it's effective as soon as you sign it. If you have questions about that, you can definitely get a hold of us, reach out, we're available to help. Thank you.